I'm Trent Ivey. I race dirt cars, and it's actually a dirt lake model, and we run around a dirt oval, wide open sideways, and it's I got into it. My dad, he raced all his life. When I was growing up, I was at the racetrack with him every weekend, and he got me in a late model, and then I started enjoying it. I started winning. Then I started giving him trouble about being better than him, and here we are now. So I've been doing this for 10 years, and couldn't be happier.
That's awesome. Now I know there's just a ton of prep work that goes into the car and getting prepared for races. What are some prep work things that people might not think about that you just have to do week in and week out to be competitive on the racetrack?
Well, the biggest thing when you race on dirt's obviously hard to clean. So we had to strip it all the way down for the most part, and take all the tires off of it, wash it real good with a pressure washer, and brush it down, make it real clean. It's not clean now because we've been racing, but it's just a lot of maintenance. You can't go at a high rate of speed sideways and worry about your bolts coming loose. So you got to get it in here and strip it down, make sure all the bolts are tight, make sure your tires are all grooved up and clean, of course, so they grab good. And it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
Tell me the importance of if you're going to race, being on a track rather than being stupid out on the highway.
Well, I tell you, you run into just as many squirrels out on the racetrack as you do out on the roads as well. But it's an environment where everybody's there to have a good time for the most part, and these cars are set up to do racing, and you can go fast without having a whole lot of scare as to wrecking and stuff like that as you do on the streets. So it's a little different. I wish everybody had a chance to drive one, and that'd give you a lot of respect for what we do.
Yeah. And as far as safety goes, what are some of the features the car has? I mean, just to keep it safe.
One of the biggest things, and they've upgraded them over the years, you can see this, my Butler built seat here. It's got the head restraint all the way around both sides, and for your shoulders as well, and your ribs, and everything to keep you from moving the slightest bit. If you get in some contact, you get jumbled around a lot, and it keeps you in there tight. They really do. They do a good job, and so do the cars. Not just the seats and stuff like that. They make them real safe. You see a lot of big crashes and people, upside down out of the racetrack, stuff like that, and you hardly ever see a serious injury, and that makes it a lot easier getting in a race car.
Tell me about what it's like to win, man. Just to be out front, legging the field, coming across, getting the checkered flag.
I tell you, there's two different ways to describe it, and one of them I like to call the Sunday drive is when you get to sit in a race car and your car is just that good, and most of the time it is when you're dealing with my dad and people that set this thing up for me. You can get out there and just cruise and really involve yourself with the race car and the racetrack and just drive around and not have to worry about anybody passing you when you actually hit the nail on the head. And then there's sometimes where it's a dog fight. You got guys trying to slide job you, and you got people trying to move you out of the way, and there's a little bit of contact back there this weekend.